Hello friends, Clage back with another video today, and I want to take a few minutes to talk about a feature in fighting games that I feel has become the most important feature that needs to be in all modern fighting games going forward, and a feature that you as a player should be clamoring for with any release that comes out of newer games, whether it's just a version update or a full-on new entry in a series or even a brand new title for that matter. But the reason I'm bringing this up is over the weekend, Tekken 8 announced that they are going to be implementing a replay takeover feature, which is massive, absolutely gigantically massive. I'm going to show you why here in a moment, but that's a big deal. It's not going to be a huge window. You're only going to be able to take over for a 10-second window, but replay takeover is, without a doubt, the single most powerful tool you could ever ask for in a fighting game as someone who is trying to learn, trying to improve. The practicality and the efficiency at which you can learn and improve with a replay takeover feature is frankly mind-blowing. So the replay feature in +R was first implemented in an update after the netcode, the new rollback netcode, had been stabilized and they were feeling pretty comfortable with everything. And it is so powerful and so useful. One of the most daunting aspects of trying to get better at fighting games is when you have to go beyond just learning your character. If you go into training mode with your character, you can always learn more about your character, right? You can test out new pressure strings, find new combos, find new routes, setups, anything. Like, it's all there. Once you get a feel for your character, learning more about your character becomes easier and easier because you just innately grow with the character you're playing, right? But one of the more daunting aspects is, what do you do when you are put in a situation against a different character and you have no idea what happened? Maybe you got put in a crazy setup post-knockdown and got opened up and you had no idea how to block it or what to look for. Maybe you're getting pushed into the corner by a long pressure string, or you're finding it really difficult to start offense. All these things become much more difficult to do with just your character in training mode. And there have been advances. Training modes have definitely gotten better and better over the years. You have modern things like Street Fighter 6's frame data bar, which is another thing that should be an absolute gold standard for every training mode going forward. That is valuable, powerful information that everyone should have super easy access to. One of the best things about the training mode in Street Fighter 6 is absolutely the frame data bar. And obviously modern games, Strive and all those, have made it a lot easier to record multiple dummy settings, to have wake-up settings to test against reversals and learn safe jumps, all that good stuff. But again, with the training mode, you can only go so far with your own character. And even with something like the frame data, if you have something where you test an opponent's block string or something, right? You test out their moves. You want to know if that special is actually safe or if there's a gap there that you might be able to interrupt. A frame data bar helps a lot with that, but frame data is just one part of the story, right? What if we go back to that scenario? What if you block a move and you feel like you should have gotten a punish, but you didn't? Or you get hit by a setup that's got all sorts of layers to it and you have no idea what happened. If you want to recreate that and test that out in training mode on your own, that means not only do you have to try and learn another character to, at the very least, recreate that situation they did, but then you have to record the dummy. You have to make sure it's recording in a way that emulates what happened in the match. And that can be kind of daunting, right? Like, that's not a trivial ask to go, all right, go play this character you don't play and figure out how to recreate this situation that happened in a match. Doing that once or twice, okay, that's not that big of an ask. Do your homework. Go learn a little bit more. That's important for learning fighting games. But this is something that'll come up in literally every match you play against every character you play. And when you start talking about trying to go in and program training dummies to recreate every situation that gives you problems, that's a big ask. That is... Look, no one has time for that, all right? Especially if this is not literally your full-time job and you're not playing these games as a professional player. No one has time for that. That is a huge, monumental ask. And the thing is now that we are having replay takeover announced in a modern game for the first time, we can expedite that. I cannot tell you how much the base skill level of the +R player base has grown since the replay feature was implemented. It is immeasurable how much stronger your average plus R player is, because it's so easy to have something happen in a match, and you just take a note or make a mental note or even write down a physical note of, okay, I need to figure out what happened here. I need to test against this. And you boot up the replay, you fast forward to that point in time, and you go down to this little thing and hit take control, and now you can test stuff. You can recreate that situation and do it over and over again until you start getting the answers you want. So here's like a perfect example. I was playing a couple matches earlier tonight, and this Kai player did this to me. Did cross-up greed sever, and I blocked it. But you'll notice, I don't get a punish here, right? I do know what the punish to this is, but I'm rusty in plus R, right? So, this is a perfect scenario for me to iron out the kinks in my punish game, right? So I go down here, hit take control, and I can practice dashing and hitting 5P on this. If I can hit it. This is not an easy punish, by the way. Just like that, right? Now imagine if I wanted to do this without the replay feature, right? I would have had to go into training mode. I'd have to space this out in a way where I could get Kai to do cross-up greed sever, which is not a trivial thing to do. Get the timing down, and then make sure that the spacing Kai lands at after the greed sever is blocked is the same spacing that happened in match, so I can test and see if the punish works, or if I can even execute the punish, right? Replay takeover, you saw how easy that was. It just, you can't ask for anything more. It's as simple as it gets for going, this situation caught me off guard. What do I do? How do I prepare if this happens again? Because that's the one thing about fighting games, is there are very, very few one-offs in terms of situations where something happened and you're not sure why it didn't go your way or why something went awry, right? It's probably something that's going to be recreated by people who play the character that did it to you. And so having this feature is worth so much. And plus ours is super easy because it has fast forward, it has rewind. I can get to whatever section in a match I want to test something. Here's another perfect one, right? I get knocked down, and this Kai runs a set play on me, right? Puts the star, and it's a fake cross-up. So, if I want to, I just go, let this happen, take control, and now I test and see if I can block it. Okay, cool. It was a fake cross-up. I assumed it was a cross-up. I blocked the wrong way. Easy combo. Take it one step further. Can I punish this? Most likely not. There's no gap there. Okay? So now I know that if I want to do anything about that, I'm going to have to FD out or instant block. Maybe I can instant block this. This is going to be hard to instant block because blocking Kai's reversal is not trivial. The other thing I can test is, can I auto guard out of this? Doesn't look like it. Probably not going to work that way. But now I know. If I see this again and I see a Kai jump straight up after planning the jump D, now I know it's a fake cross-up. Most likely this has multiple layers. There's probably another version of it that is not fake. But if I block this and he proceeds to do that whole string, I know I have a chance to whiff punish, stuff like that. I have learned so much about this one interaction by just going down and hitting take control. And it took no time. Literally none. Super, super simple. There are so many situations that this kind of feature empowers you with, right? Did you hit a character and you come up just a few HP short of ending the round, right? Boot up replay takeover. Alter your route. See if you can secure a kill off that route. Maybe you did max out your damage with the resources available, but it never hurts to test. You never know if you might find out a new route. Maybe you caught a weird stray counter hit in the air, and now you've got to do a conversion that you don't do very often. Now you have a twofold situation. You can recreate something that happens in match, and you can improve your routing at the same time. This feature is the strongest tool you could ever have in a fighting game. And I am not saying that with any hyperbole whatsoever. This is the juice. I have gotten so much better at plus R in the 2 years since replay feature became a thing. I improved more in 2 years than I did the first 18 that I played Guilty Gear. And that is not an exaggeration at all. I learned so many things and understood situations so much better and was forced to try and use things I would never use on my own because I got to be exposed to something over and over again and just go through processes of elimination. Does this answer this? No. Does this answer this? No. Do I just have to hold this? Sometimes. But having a feature like this just, it expedites the process so much, and you can feel the improvement as you go up and boot games up and play more. It's indescribable how great it feels to have a situation come up that you went over in replay mode and then properly respond to it in match. It's absolute euphoria. I cannot tell you. It's the best. It's great. And in fairness, I want to point out, this is a hard feature to implement. This requires making the replays completely manipulable with moving through them. It requires creating save states within your own engine, within the replay format, then allowing those save states to take input and making sure it doesn't desync, making sure everything functions as intended. That is much, much harder to do in modern games. The replays in +R, they're like 10, 12 kilobytes. They're nothing. They are literally nothing in terms of data. When you're talking about bigger, newer, modern games that can be dozens and dozens of gigabytes just to install them, creating save states and replays is not trivial. That's a lot of data. That's a lot of stuff to do. And trying to do that in a way that doesn't clog up the system, doesn't make your computer run bad, optimizing it, making it worth using, it's not easy to do. But it is so valuable and so important that, as far as I'm concerned, this should be the thing you ask for over anything else in a single fighting game. The only exception I can come up with is if a new volume of a series is coming out and you want your character on the roster and they haven't been announced yet. That I get. Trust me, I get it. Did you see LG and Excerpt? No, nobody did. But I just wanted to do a quick video on this. I don't know how many of you know about Replay Takeover, because I know a lot more people on this channel follow Strive than they do +R in the Legacy games. But if you get in a closed beta test and you get to give feedback on the game, or you are offered a survey from a fighting game dev team to give your input, and there's anywhere in those feedback or surveys or whatnot to make a note about extra things you want or other things that are available, please put Replay Takeover down. It is literally invaluable. It is the strongest tool I've ever seen for learning fighting games. And I want every game to have this. I want everyone to have this luxury to improve and get better. Because when people get better, the whole scene gets better, and you get to watch the game evolve and grow, and you get to see things come out of the game that you just never have seen before. +R has still been evolving over the last 2 years. This game is over 10 years old. This is not a new game anymore. And people are still finding new routes, new optimizations, and new ways to play matchups because of the power of this mode. So, not a super long video today. I know, for once, right? Amazing. But I really wanted to highlight this, because seeing that Tekken 8 announced this only has me way more excited for Tekken 8. Because a game like Tekken, where characters have literally hundreds of moves in their move list, granted, if you know anything about Tekken, you know that in truth, you narrow down the, 10 to 20 moves that characters use most often. But when you play a game like Tekken, someone is absolutely going to hit you with one of the weird hoopty moves that has 38 frames of startup and happens to be a long-range low or something like that, right? If you have replay feature, you can start looking for visual cues. You can start testing against that. You can find out if something is jab punishable or if something is launch punishable without having to do anything else but replay your match. And here's the best part about all this, is just by rewatching your matches, you're learning. Doesn't matter if you even get to the Replay Takeover part of it, you're watching back your match, and you're going to notice things you didn't notice when you played the first time. And that, too, is worth its weight in gold. So, for real, this feature doesn't get talked about enough. Honestly, I didn't see near enough hype on it for the Tekken 8 announcement. And again, I think that's because a lot of people just don't realize this is a possibility. A lot of people don't pay attention to +R. It's a legacy game, and even though its following has grown a lot since the rollback patch, it's still niche. And so I want to get Replay Takeover out there. I want more people to talk about it. I want it to be the thing that is demanded of devs alongside rollback netcode. These are things that we should have. We live in the future. It is 2023. It is almost 2024. Fighting games should no longer have bad netcode, and they should have every feature possible in the training mode to let its player base excel. So, just wanted to talk about this some more. If you want to learn more about the replay mode, if you want to see more examples of how I learn and improve with using the replay takeover, let me know in the comments. I'm happy to show some more of this. But yeah, just wanted to get this one out. That announcement really made me excited, and I want more people to be excited about it because it's a big deal. So that's all I got for now. Thank you again for all the subs, likes, comments. It helps the channel out a lot. If you want to check out the Patreon, I would really appreciate it. That helps me make more of these videos. It's going to help keep things going and hopefully make it so I can make more and more, curated and special videos down the road. So, but as always, I appreciate y'all. Be safe, be good to each other. And yeah, ask your local dev for training mode with Replay Takeover. It'll make you very happy. All right, y'all take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.